it's time to talk about movies. You ready for that?
I'm ready for that.
All right, roll that clip.
Whoa! Bill, what? Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Whoa, man.
Way back in 1989, two most excellent teens saved the future by traveling through time to help them pass their history exam. It was so popular, it spawned a sequel, a TV series, and a cartoon.
Now, 30 years later, the Wild Stallions are back to reunite with their music, but it's the most triumphant. Hey, Paul, I almost choked on a rib earlier, okay? So maybe I misread the prompter. Sue me, I'm alive, and I think that that's worth celebrating.
Yeah, I think it is worth celebrating that you're still alive. I'm still bummed that you guys didn't deliver barbecue to me because now my mouth is drooling.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm looking at like smoked sausage right now. It's very difficult for me to concentrate. But let's talk about the world of movies. Now, Paul, what I've heard so far from sort of the critical consensus has largely been positive, which I find surprising because I thought, boy, a reboot, a sequel, so to speak, 3 decades later, rarely do those succeed.
Yeah, and this one actually really does succeed. I think that the first movie holds up, and I think that that kind of good, positive spirit is still back with this third one. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, they're back as the Wild Stallions, and just as their kind of music career is waning, they are forced to go back into the future to write the perfect song to kind of bring harmony and unity back to the world again. So again, you've got themes that are really relevant for 2020. There's time travel all into it, and it really sticks to that kind of tried and true formula of what makes Bill and Ted so much fun. Again, it's nostalgia driven. This movie is made for the fans. This isn't one for some newbies to kind of come into fresh and not know what's going on. This is for the fans.
Do you think it's to the point where it's so inside then, if you just saw the trailer and were like, oh, that looks kind of cool, could you still enjoy it, but maybe, could you still like it, but maybe not love it, I guess?
I think you could still like it, maybe not love it. You might miss some of the humor because there are references to the first movies. They do time travel again. They bring back, musical figures from the past like Mozart and Jimi Hendrix. So it's fun. It's funny. And Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, they're both just hysterical in this. So you can still enjoy it.
Okay, ticket stubs.
So 3 out of 5 ticket stubs for Bill and Ted. You can see it either in theaters or you can do an on-demand rental for this one.
Okay, all right. Next, we've got All In: The Fight for Democracy. It's in theaters and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime starting next Friday. And this is a documentary from Stacey Abrams who uses her gubernatorial run as kind of this framework to talk about the history and the current issues facing voter suppression in our country. So if you saw movies like 13th from Ava DuVernay, it's a lot like that, where it's talking about these really, vital historical issues and kind of talking about the racial inequities and the history of voter rights in this country.
With that, anytime there's a political documentary of any sort, it could easily isolate one side or the other. Do you feel like no matter what political party you subscribe to, you would take away some good from it, or do you think there's a chance that it would isolate some?
I would hope that it does not isolate people, because the voting rights in this country is something that every person in this country should know about. Voter suppression, regardless of your party line, should be what we are talking about. And knowing what happens with the Supreme Court, there was a case in 2013 that led to gerrymandering and voter purging and laws that make it harder to vote in certain counties. And I think that that's so important. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. You need to know about these types of voter suppression and what's happening so that every American, no matter who you're voting for, has the right to vote.
Right. And
there really is a call to action at the end. And it's eye-opening. I mean, there was a lot of the history that I didn't know about, so it was very rewarding for me to watch this documentary.
How about that? There you go. Paulie, how many ticket stubs?
4 out of 5 for that.
4 out of 5.
Everyone should watch it. It's in theaters. It's on Amazon next week. You don't have any excuse not to see it.
Paul, thank you so much. It's always good to have you on the show. Nice to see you. You can visit Paul's website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for updates on movies and streaming services. You can also listen to Paul on the Colleen and Bradley Show on My Talk 107.1 every Friday, or watch him on his YouTube channel. It's also called Paul's Trip to the Movies.
All right, TCL's Movie Trip is brought to you by Muska Lighting. Their last chance outdoor sale is going on right now. You can get 10% off all outdoor lighting, and there's a fan sale going on too.
Hey.
You can take 20% off all in-stock stock fans at their Eden Prairie and Roseville locations. That's while supplies last.
Still to come, friends, we've gathered some of the best products that you can find in the Duluth area, including the gear from a leather and canvas bag company with almost 140 years of experience. Stay right there.
Thanks to Muska Lighting for sponsoring TCL's movie trip. Replace old and dated fixtures with a new light and change the look and feel of your home. Our mudroom fixture from Muska Lighting is a total showstopper. We get compliments from everyone who walks through the door. Talk to the experts at Muska Lighting in Roseville and Eden Prairie for help finding the perfect light for you.